Trump rally we ever went to in 2017 when he came to Topeka, Kansas, and did a rally for Chris Kobach. Throw him in there. Piece of shit.
Say goodbye to your former supporters, Donald. Donald Trump's former MAGA supporters are making videos of themselves and posting it across social media where they're burning their MAGA hats, their MAGA shirts, and their MAGA signs. And they are saying how betrayed they feel by Donald Trump's actions, putting America last, covering up for a child sex trafficking ring, and by lying and saying that things are far more affordable right now and that everybody's living in a golden age while Donald Trump grifts for himself and makes billions of dollars while he makes the American people suffer. We're not just seeing one or two videos. We are seeing right now a mass movement of former MAGA supporters taking to social media and telling Donald Trump they're done, that they are leaving MAGA. Here's another portion of that video, and you'll see just how angry Donald Trump's former supporters are at his betrayal, at his con job, at his rug pull. And as they burn their MAGA hats and shirts, they start cursing at him. And we're seeing this across social media right now. Play this clip.
Son from 2016.
Fuck you!
You sure as fuck aren't making America proud right now. And for the record, we stand with MTG and Massey.
We're also seeing former MAGA supporters replace their MAGA hats with America First hats and showing solidarity with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey. As we know, Donald Trump is saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a traitor to the MAGA movement because she's called for the release of the Epstein files. She said that these files should not be covered up, and she says that Donald Trump is not telling the truth when he says things are more affordable right now. For Donald Trump, he said that that was far too much for him to handle, that she would say those things. By the way, what she's saying there is true. And so Donald Trump has banished Marjorie Taylor Greene from the MAGA movement. And she's posted that as a result of Donald Trump's attacks on her, that she's received death threats, that her life has been put in jeopardy by Donald Trump's conduct, how security firms are reaching out to her to offer protection. Marjorie Taylor Greene's daughter sent a heartfelt public message to her mom saying that she stands with her mom in the face of these death threats and all the horrible things happening now as a result of Donald Trump's conduct. And while all of that is taking place, where's Donald? He's showing that betrayal and rubbing it in the face of his former supporters. He was in Mar-a-Lago yesterday and today on the taxpayer dime once again, golfing. And he spent his time golfing with Lindsey Graham, whom most people who were formerly MAGA, who no longer consider themselves to be a part of Donald Trump's con job, they all view Lindsey Graham as the rhino, as the fake, as the America last person. Donald Trump was there with Lindsey Graham when he was making all of these posts attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump had the audacity to attack Thomas Massey's marriage. So Thomas Massey's wife of 34 years died a very tragic and unexpected death. Thomas Massey since remarried. Donald Trump, who's been married 3 times, who's on audio bragging about sexually assaulting women because he says you're rich and you get away with it. Donald Trump, who's been found liable for sexual assault. Donald Trump, who's covering up a child sex trafficking ring, attacked Thomas Massey's marriage to his late wife and now his new marriage. And he's basically made all of these horrific implications and said because of Massey's first wife passing away and that Massey remarried, that's why his constituents don't support Massey or something like that. And all the MAGA people were like, Donald, you're just gross. What a disgusting and horrible thing for you to say. And it seems that Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene are getting that support from the former Trump supporters, the former MAGAs, who are saying these people are America first and Donald Trump is a complete and utter fraud, as evidenced by this golfing with Lindsey Graham. And speaking about these like endless wars, you have Pete Hegseth posting these various operations. Operation Rough Rider, Operation Midnight Hammer, Operation Southern Spear. POTUS means business and the world knows it. I've seen a number of people post that the military's mocking these names and this behavior. Pete Hegseth, they're like, these seem like names for like adult movies of a certain variety, if you know what I mean. And they're like, the military just mocking the crap out of Hegseth. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is making posts like this. Again, Donald Trump is out in Mar-a-Lago. He's hanging out with billionaires. He's rubbing it in people's face, but he's posting this. Golden Age. Since Trump took office, companies have invested trillions of dollars into their U.S.-based operations, onshoring and creating hundreds of thousands of new jobs for Americans. And we know that Donald Trump is lying. We know that there's not a golden age. And it just makes it so much worse, I think, for people who are already suffering when Donald Trump says this is a golden age and people are like, no, it isn't. I mean, you may be grifting billions of dollars and doing deals with the Saudis and the Qataris and the Emiratis and, enriching your family, Chinese crypto billionaires, and you're giving them pardons. And like that may be enriching you, but the American people right now are psychologically tortured, living paycheck to paycheck and can't afford rent and can't afford things right now. And so that's something that you need to pay attention to as part of the feeling by MAGA of Trump's ultimate betrayal here. Candace Owens, former Trump MAGA supporter. Here's what she has to say. Play this clip.
What I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen and it is happening. But I just think that the picture of politics in America is going to look very differently because of his actions. So I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. But this is not the candidate that I voted for.
Here's what the podcaster Tim Dillon had to say. Here, play this clip.
Let's look at Trump here. And I do think, unfortunately, this kind of is the end of, and I say unfortunately, not because I care, truly, but I say unfortunately because it seems to not be doing anything good for anyone. This is the end of the Trump administration. This is the beginning of the lame duck presidency. It's obvious to everyone, even his most ardent supporters show up to the White House, like Laura Ingraham, and she's kind of shocked going, what the hell's going on? Now we'll start, 3 years of talking about the ballroom. He will trail off. He will get older. He's adorned the White House in gold. Epstein's going to suck the oxygen out of a lot of this. We're going to talk about that a little later on. Apparently AI, by the way, the only thing I'm sure of about AI, I'm not an expert, is that AI, as soon as we have robots running around this country, they'll all be pedophiles too. There's no one in power that will apparently just not be a pedophile. All these robots will be pedophiles. 100% will deal with pedophile robots. Our first robot president will be a pedophile. I know that. It's the only thing I know. Our first AI robot president will absolutely be a pedophile.
Yeah, and while that's going on, again, you have Donald Trump and Lindsey Graham just like acting like they're like kids in a candy shop. Or I can come up with other things, but we'll just stick with kids in a candy shop. I think you may know where I'm going with that other thing. Lindsey Graham says, what a great day playing golf with Trump. So much fun today at the Trump-Graham Golf Classic that will benefit the Republican cause greatly. Thank you. Look at Lindsey Graham. He's so happy. He's so happy as Donald Trump's out there attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey and destroying his MAGA movement. Donald Trump holding court. He's got the microphone at his golf club today. And by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene's pointing out that as it relates to the conservative scores, this Liberty score, she's an A, Lindsey Graham's an F. But apparently, according to Trump, Lindsey Graham is MAGA right now. Laura Green, Marjorie Taylor Greene's daughter, says, please pray for my mom's safety. And meanwhile, Donald Trump, here's how he refers to Marjorie Taylor Greene now. He goes, lightweight Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Brown. I guess he finds that funny. Here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene writes. I am now being contacted by private security firms with warnings for my safety as a hotbed of threats against me are being fueled and egged on by the most powerful man in the world, the man I supported and helped get elected. Aggressive rhetoric attacking me has historically led to death threats and multiple convictions of men who were radicalized by the same type of rhetoric being directed at me now. This time it's by the President of the United States. As a woman, I take threats from men seriously. I now have a small understanding of the fear and pressure the women who are victims of Jeffrey Epstein and his cabal must feel. As a Republican who overwhelmingly votes for Trump's bills and agenda, his aggression against me, which also fuels the venomous nature of his radical internet trolls, many of whom are paid, this is completely shocking to everyone. My phone is blowing up with constant amazing support. I'm thankful. The political industrial complex and the toxic violent nature of American politics must end. Our country is worth saving, and it could only be done if we pull together and save ourselves. So you have some Trump sycophant Congress members saying things like this. I'll be voting no on the Epstein hoax. The Democrats are using the Epstein hoax to distract us from winning Trump and his administration. My message to Republicans, don't let this noise keep us from delivering on our mandate. It got ratio. There were so many people who commented to this MAGA Republican Troy Nell's like, dude, what are you even talking about? You're covering up a child sex trafficking ring, dude. You're a PPP, a pedo protection program, and it's gross. Marjorie Taylor Greene writes, the ratio on this post should serve as the ultimate warning to all of my Republican colleagues. You vote no on Tuesday to release the Epstein files and face severe outrage from America. Republicans don't have support from women, and this right here is a perfect example of why. Here's Donald Trump, what he was doing at Mar-a-Lago. It looks like you have Australian billionaire Anthony Pratt, who previously talked about during the first administration, getting, I think, like nuclear secrets about Australia's nuclear submarine program and the America submarine program while he was at Mar-a-Lago the first time. Remember when those audio clips were made public by investigative reporters in Australia? You also have Australian New York Post columnist Miranda Devine is at that table as well. I mean, you see what's going on here. Here is Donald Trump next to Lindsey Graham walking together. And then he's posting weird things like this. NBC's Seth Meyers is suffering from an incurable case of Trump derangement syndrome. He was viewed last night in an uncontrollable rage, likely due to the fact that his show is a ratings disaster. Aside from everything else, Meyers has no talent and NBC should fire him immediately. Meanwhile, Democratic Senator Brian Schatz says there are a lot of MAGA people online admitting right now that Trump is betraying them. And if you dunk on these people, you are likely very terrible at politics. Politics is about addition and not subtraction. In other words, what he's saying is this is a wake-up moment for MAGA, realizing that Donald Trump is a fraud and a con artist. And we may say, wow, why did it take so long? The reality is that right now, more than ever, the issue that we're facing as a country, it's the right-wing oligarchs versus the rest of us, okay, as opposed to the political parties. The political parties are an abstraction to try to cover up what this Trump regime, authoritarian regime, is doing. I think that people need to make sure that these Republicans these MAGAs who represent the oligarchs are removed from power immediately, and then we can try to get back to normalcy where we can have debates and normal discussions again, like I'd like to have, but that we're all putting America at the forefront of these discussions. And, Trump's out there saying, American workers aren't as smart as foreign workers. American students can't do the same work as Chinese students. What are you talking about, man? That's not true. We do need to invest in American schools and American workers. And I still think that there's a great place where we can also bring in foreign workers, but we got to focus on American workers two and first. What are we talking about here? But we should focus on data and facts and stats and be compassionate and empathetic and just be smart and normal. You got Trump supporters like Trisha Hope saying, I'm no longer entertained by this man. I'm beginning to find him repulsive. You got people like Jimmy Dore saying, Trump in less than 10 months has already smashed his own movement by putting Israel first and covering for Epstein's pedos, covering up Charlie Kirk assassination for them, bombing 2 different countries for them, censoring America for them, deporting college students for them, continuing to fund a genocide for them, while bailing out Argentina, implementing DEI for them, is what this Jimmy Dore guy is saying, plus exploding the deficit while cutting healthcare and adding $200 billion for the war machine, which wiped out all Doge savings. Now he turns on Massey and MTG, who are actually supporting the platform Trump ran on. Just stunning. It's just stunning. I wonder what J.D. Vance is thinking. He's probably thinking about couches. I don't know what he's thinking. He's a weird dude. He's changed his name 3 times. He's changed his personality 3 times. He was a never Trumper. When he was in high school, he said he was gay. And then he says he's anti-gay, and then he's Appalachia, but now he doesn't like Appalachia and he wants to shut down rural hospital. I mean, he's had this name, that name, the other name. This guy's a total phony. Who is this guy? I mean, who is it's like a weirder authoritarian version of Catch Me If You Can. This friggin' J.D. Vance. So there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers, and we appreciate you.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.